evening, Patriots, and welcome to another episode of Walk Away with Brandon Straka. I'm your host, Brandon Straka. That's my name. So here we go. We're well into October. We're approaching the big date. We all know what the big date is, October 26th. The Walkway March on Washington weekend will be kicking off. For anybody who's been living under a rock, or who's been hanging out on the Walkway campaign business page, you may not know what the Walkway March on Washington weekend is. The other day, I accidentally made a live video on the Walkway campaign business page, which is basically where tumbleweeds just kind of go across, because it's a page I opened early on when I started the Walkway campaign, when I was trying to figure out how the best way to utilize the testimonials was, before I discovered we should do it in a group. And I accidentally made a live video on there, and I started getting all of these people joining the feed. I was thinking that I was in the group. I was actually in the business page. So I was making a live video, and I was talking about the March on Washington. And all of these people are like, what march? What are you talking about? What's going on? And I was about to lose my mind. I was like, am I in the Twilight Zone? What's happening? I've been literally, all I talk about is the Walkway March on Washington. Then I got done. I was like, oh, I'm in this business page with all of these people who probably are not even in the Walkway campaign group. So the Walkway March on Washington weekend is coming up starting October 26th. It's the 26th, 27th, and 28th. We're doing the gala dinner on Friday, October 26th at Trump International. Tickets are actually selling really well. And I had a talk today with Sarah Palin's assistant, and she let me know that Governor Palin is very interested in being a part of the Walkway March on Washington weekend. So I think we'll have more to report within the next 24 to 48 hours. That's all I can say for the moment. I never like to let any cats out of the bag until I know there is, in fact, a cat in the bag. So that's where we're going to leave it for the moment. But I want to talk about something really exciting that happened this week. This was very cool. So I got reached out to by somebody named William Woods, and this guy loves the Walkway campaign page. Like most people in this country right now, he's been riveted and very, very upset by the Kavanaugh hearing. And he said, also, like many other people in this country, I'm sick of it. I'm really, really, really sick to death of all this crap that's going on. And I love your campaign and I want to help. So he said, I want to donate $10,000 to the Walkway campaign. He said, but let's have some fun with this, and let's take the opportunity to do a matching contest. So he said, why don't you see if you can get people all worked up and wanting to donate within the next 48 hours. If you can raise if you can raise $10,000 in 48 hours, I will match it up to $10,000. So I released this information out to you all, and I said, hey guys, let's make this happen. Let's do this. And you guys, we raised $11,000 in like 12 hours. It was crazy. So, okay, Rob, could you show everybody what the numbers looked like at the beginning of before we did the contest? Do you have the first? There. Okay. So that we were at $226,800 when we got reached out to by William Woods about the matching contest. So then Mr. Woods, do you have the shot of the $10,000 donation? There it is. Okay, so we raised ourselves $11,000 within like 12 hours. It was crazy. And then the contest officially ended today at 5 p.m. on Monday today. And then we, of course, raised more than that, which led us to we are now more than halfway to our goal of $500,000. So we have now raised $252,995. Thank you, Patriots, and thank you, William Woods. But there's more. He was so stoked about how well this contest went and how quickly we were able to raise the funds that he said, I want to do it again. I'm going to throw in another $5,000. So we're not starting today. I mean, still feel free to donate if you want to. I'm not going to stop you. But tomorrow I'll be announcing when we're doing the $5,000 match. And there's even more than that. It's actually inspired other benefactors. Someone else got in touch with me and said, I love this idea. I've also got $10,000 and they want to do a match too. So it's crazy. People are really stepping up to help the campaign. I'll be announcing all of this, because I love games. A lot of you guys, you may not know this. I was a contestant on Wheel of Fortune in 2013. And Rob, did you know that? Of course he didn't know that. Well, I was, Rob. And Rob, look at me. I won. Thank you. He just gave me a thumbs up. I was a contestant on Wheel of Fortune in 2013, and I mopped the floor with my co-contestants. I made it to the bonus round. We'll have to show pictures in next week's episode, but it was tragic. My bonus round puzzle was so hard. I couldn't possibly solve it. It was terrible. It was too hard, but I did great. We have another Skype. We have another texting contest. This one's going to be fun too. So our texting number is 51400. That's always going to be our texting number when we're running texting contests. So you can enter the contest by texting 51400. If you text the word Skype. Did I send you a graphic on this, Rob? Yes, I did. It's in your email. It is. That's fine. If you look real fast, you could probably throw it up there, but that's okay. This one they can get without seeing it. It would have been nice if you'd opened your email and done your job, but that's okay. That's okay, Rob. So if you guys text the word Skype to 51400, you will get a one-on-one Skype session with me for 15 minutes. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Whatever you want to talk about. You can ask me. Listen, you could be Antifa and you could just yell at me for 15 minutes and you can call me names. You can throw stuff. It's like whatever you want to do. Berate me. Or you could send me some love too. I also love love. And or we could have a conversation. We could talk about Walkaway. We could talk about the Walkaway March on Washington. We could literally whatever you guys want to talk about. And I'm a very open book too, by the way. So if you want to really get in deep with me and ask me some really personal stuff, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I'll totally go there with you. So if you type 514 or text 51400, text the word Skype to 51400. It's $5 to enter. You can enter as many times as you want. We'll do a drawing. Rob, when should we do the drawing? Friday? Friday. We'll do the drawing Friday night. Or should we do it through the weekend and then we'll announce on the show? How about that? Okay. All right. So we'll run that contest through next Monday, and then I'll call the winner. I'll call the winner live on the show. Yeah, that's what we'll do. All right. So text Skype to 51400. It's for a 15-minute Skype session with me. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. $5 to enter. You can enter as many times as you want. The winner will be alerted by text message, but also call the winner live on the show next week to alert them. Awesome. Love it. Guys, if you'd like to help us out so that we can continue to create outstanding content like what you're seeing right now and all of this delicious banter between me and Rob, please consider making a contribution to the Patreon account. This is how we're able to do things like run the Walkway campaign and produce this show and produce videos and content and stuff. And eat food. Rob loves to eat food. I love to eat food. So if you make a contribution to Patreon, it can be, what does that mean, Rob? You're just going like this. He does these things. What is this? You guys know. Okay. He says, there we go. The link is in the lower. You know why? Because I was looking at the wrong box of myself. Is it in there now? Yeah. Well, that's okay. So listen, even $5 a month adds up. If you're able to do a $5 monthly contribution, if you're able to do, I don't know, $10, $15, $20, any of it helps. But it really, really helps us out, and it makes us able to be able to produce this show and do all the things that we do in our lives. Now, let's talk about buses. So we have buses available for the Walkway March on Washington. Guys, I need you to step up and fill these buses. This is crazy. I kept, for weeks now, I've been talking about the Walkway March, and people are like, I'd love to come if there was a bus. If only there was a bus, I would be at the Walkway March on Washington. So we literally drove ourselves insane, creating busing options from 16 cities. And these can be found at walkaway.bus.com. I thought that these buses would fill up in 10 minutes. I mean, we raised $11,000 in 12 hours, but I'm having to beg people to get on the bus. You guys, it's so affordable. It's affordable round trip bus ride to the March on Washington. And we even created options that are 4 days that include hotel. It's a round trip bus ticket plus 3 nights in a hotel for like $275. That's insane. So you guys, walkaway.bus.com. You've got to fill these buses. And this is important, you guys. This is really important because what we want to do with this march, there's so many reasons why this march is important, but one of the things is that we want to show the people who are walking away that they're not walking away into being isolated, being alone, that there is a network of support waiting for them. Both of people who have walked away, people in the middle, and people on the right. Guys, how many times have I said it's time for the silent majority to become unsilent? This is really important. If you can't make it because your legs are broken, or you don't have legs at all, or you absolutely have to work, or you absolutely cannot afford it, I get it. I really get it. But if you're just like, like, oh, I like to do my mani and pedi on Saturday, I don't think I can go. Get on the bus. You guys, you got to get on the bus. This is important. This is really, we're trying to make a big statement before the midterm elections. This is important. I'm asking for a very small sacrifice from you guys. One day of your life to come and be a part of something that's going to be monumental, historic, and incredible. And it's even more importantly than that, it's going to send a really, really amazing message to all of these people do you have any idea how many people are so ready to walk away after God, I wish I had a clip of the testimonial I saw today. I'm going to have this woman on the show next week. It was so powerful. This woman from San Francisco, she's a lawyer. She's a little bit older, and she has been a Democrat her entire life. And she had the most powerful testimonial. You saw it, Rob? You saw it? Yes. Literally, guys, there are so many people who right now have been pushed to their breaking point and they're ready to walk away. And it's so important for us to come together and show them that they have something to walk to, that they have people waiting for them to say, hey, you're not alone. We're here for you. You're not walking into an abyss. You're actually walking into a great big giant hug of people who are here to support you and love you and care about you. That's what this march is all about. So get on the damn bus and come to the Walkaway March on Washington weekend. Boom! Now, I'm really excited about my guests tonight. Rob, I'm really excited about I'm excited about both my guests and Maria. I'm always excited about our media mogul, Maria. But let me tell you about my first guest. So around the time that I was being red-pilled, which would have been early 2017, I started reaching out. Part of my process was, I started kind of trying to talk to my friends about the things I was reading and discovering and how I was starting to change my mind, and people would kind of rage out at me and, certainly not want to have these conversations with me. And what it forced me to do was get into bed at night and just do more research and watch more videos and read more content. And the more I did that, the more I learned. And then the harder it became to stay on the liberal side. And one of the people I discovered, Rob, you just jumped right to the picture. That was like the special part of the story where all right. One of the people who I discovered was this guy named An0maly. And so my initial impression of him was that this guy was really cool because he has a very, very sort of unique way of delivering the message. Because the message is essentially, his story is similar to mine. He's a walk away too. But, a lot of people who are outspoken conservatives or speak that sort of conservative message, some of them love to kind of troll or be like kind of like a little shocking, a little bit outrageous. But like I was watching this guy and I was like, wow, he's got a really great sort of cadence and rhythm and style to the way that he delivers his message, because he's so likable, he's so friendly, and he's so intelligent. And he's got like this cool long hair, and his name is An0maly, but he spells it like with a 0, not like an O. And I was like, God, he's so cool. This guy is like just so cool. So I started messaging him privately all the time, and he ignored me for months and months and months. And like it was totally devastating. And but then all of a sudden, I came out with my Once Upon a Time I Was a Liberal walk-away video. And I was like tagging him on Twitter and tagging him on Facebook. You know how you like obsessively tag famous people when you just like, you're desperate for them to notice you? Well, I was like, everything I was putting out, tag An0maly, tag An0maly, tag An0maly. Imagine one day when I get on Twitter and I open my direct messages and there's a message waiting for me from An0maly. And I literally was like, ah! And I opened it. And he was like, it was something like, yo, bro, you're killing it with your video or something. I was like, oh my God. So I got back to him and then he was just like, hey, do you want me to reformat your video and help it go viral? And I was like, oh no, don't do that. No, please. I don't want anyone to see my video. So I was like, of course I want you to do that. So he's got his own page, An0maly, and then he's got his it's like a page called World Cloud, which I'm going to ask him about because I don't totally understand that, but we're going to talk about that. And he reformatted the video and he put it on World Cloud and it got like 4 million views in the first week or something. It was crazy. And then not only that, but after that, he went on to be more supportive of the Walkaway campaign, and a lot of people have been really supportive of the Walkaway campaign, but An0maly has done numerous videos and put out numerous posts debunking media lies about the campaign in support of the campaign. And I had the great honor and privilege of getting to meet him this summer. Rob spoiled that by showing the pictures like right out of the gate. But be quiet, Rob. All right, so so let's bring An0maly on the show, and then we'll tell the story about how we met, and then we'll show the pictures. Welcome, An0maly.
That was an amazing intro, man. I appreciate it. And, you know, I always like to show a little love, and you've done much more than that back. You've shown a lot of love. So it's always appreciated. And that was, man, it's going to be tough for anyone to beat that intro. Thank you.
You deserve it. I mean, you deserve it not only because you're awesome, but you really, honestly, I mean, you've been so supportive of the Walkaway campaign. And well, let's start there. I mean, why have you been so supportive? Why is it that you've given us so much love?
Well, when I first saw the video, I guess I don't like being tagged and stuff. I don't like when people tag me and stuff, but it kept coming up. So after like 2 days, I was like, this must be a good video if it keeps resurfacing. So then I actually watched it and I was like, oh, this is good.
That was me. I was the person retagged. The millions of tags, that was just me doing it myself.
Well, it caught on enough. Either you were doing enough or other people were, where I was like, I watched it and I was like, this is good. And anything that I see, the World Cloud page, I basically made to share other stuff that I found on YouTube or Twitter that was really good. I want to share to Facebook that wasn't mine, and also credit people while I do it, because a lot of people take stuff and don't ever credit. So I was like, I could be that person, but also help people build. So I did that. It blew up. You blew up. And then as the media, pretty much what I do full time is debunk their lies. So when I, helped you go viral and then they started saying it was Russian bots, it just really bothered me, like pretty much everything they did. So it's a no-brainer for me to support the movement and every step of the way, try to debunk their ridiculous lies. And, it's very, very, it all came together incredibly well and beautiful that thousands upon tens of thousands of people made their own videos. So it's a no-brainer for me. Anything that's good energy, good message, I'm there. So,
well, I'm so grateful, and I think that you're awesome. What's that, Rob? Oh, okay. Wait, what is it? Cycle training? Okay, so cycle training is back. He just gave us, sorry, An0maly, 1 second. He just gave us $100 in super chat. Okay, this is crazy. This guy last week, he just kept dropping $100. Oh, I think he did it 8 times. Oh no, 6, 5. Well, anyway, it was incredible. Like, and I thought we were gonna have to like just go on for 2 or 3 hours because he just kept like dropping $100 in super chat. Anyway, thank you. It's cycle training, right? And thank you, Jennifer Glenn, for $10. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Wow, I'm feeling the love tonight. I love this. It's probably An0maly. They're all stoked to have An0maly on the show. Yeah, so when you support us too, you don't just like come out and say a few kind words. I mean, there was one video you did where you did like investigative journalism, like you did like a full report. I mean, it was the one, I don't remember if it was about Russian bots. I was in Europe at the time, I remember, and someone said to me, "Have you seen what An0maly did?" Do you remember what I'm talking about? It was like a long researched video that you did.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was on the Why It's Not Russian Bots. So I shared the video, or I shared the CNN article, and then I shared exactly where the study came from and how many people they talked about and what it was. It was a total goofy study. So I pointed it out to every element, and then I shared all the videos. Basically, that's just what I've been doing. So I do it every week, and when I'm inspired, I like black out and just go in. I film, I edit, and it came together. So I've think I've done like hundreds of videos. So I've done 3 or 4 for you. It seems like a lot to you, and it is, but to me, I'm like shooting out videos like a robot. So I'm like, I don't even realize anymore.
A Russian robot.
Yeah, I'm Russian. No, just kidding. So they're gonna watch and arrest me. I've never been to Russia. I'm not Russian, I swear.
So, okay, so tell us your story. Like, why is this important to you? Why do you care about debunking media lies and media myths? Let's start there.
I guess since I was 18 or 19, I was a hip hop artist, and I put stuff like freestyles on YouTube. I actually had 1 million views when I was like 19 or 20. So I was like coming up, and then I fell off. I don't know what happened. Life, I got trashed. YouTube, I don't know. I could blame everyone, but I was always talking about the media lying. So that was like my big thing. Even with Bernie Sanders, I wasn't a big fan of his policies. I liked that he was going against the media. So when I saw how the media treated Bernie Sanders, it just really irked me because they went full force, and I could tell who was who, what news sources were doing what. And it's really been failing worldwide. So once Trump started going against the media and I saw that he was the real deal, I supported Trump, dropped my Why I Support Trump video, I think last year or 2 years ago. And maybe before that, I did one about the Delta plane, but I think I've had like 20 or 30 videos that got over 1 million views. And I'm just going because I don't know. I feel like the mind control of the media is a huge, huge cornerstone in a lot of the problems we have. And it's not like a new thing for me. It's been bugging me since I was like 19 and I learned about it. I was rapping about it in lyrics like Time Warner and stuff since I was 19. So it's like, it's a beautiful thing to see the people actually like waking up and winning. It's like so good. I want to cry.
But you were a Bernie guy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I liked about Bernie was Bernie, not so much with the fight as Trump, but his movement was exposing the media, and the media was against him. So that's kind of why I supported him. I thought he was anti-establishment and he was going to beat the Democrats and the Republicans. But once he flopped, I gave it a few months. I watched Trump, and then I was like, okay, this guy's who I thought Bernie was. And I didn't like Bernie's policies. I wasn't his words were great for sure, but it was really like the main driver. I just really don't like the media. I don't like the military industrial complex and the 2-party, lying system.
Wait, so did you vote for Trump?
No, I actually voted for Jill Stein because I knew California. I had a strategic reason though. I knew California was going Hillary, so I knew it wouldn't matter electoral wise. Like there's no way Trump was going to win in California. And if Jill Stein got to 15%, I believe she would have been in the debates. So I wanted to beef up the debates. And although Jill Stein, she's gotten a little goofy and fake since, she has pretty good insight on foreign policy. So I would love to see her on the debates for sure.
Cycle Training just gave us another $100. Thank you, Cycle Training. You are amazing and mysterious, and we love you, and we're mystified by you, whoever you are, and we never want you to go away. So please stay around. And Sylvia, thank you so much for yours. God, these are going so fast. One just went by, I couldn't read it. But thank you to all who have donated so far, and thank you, Cycle Training. Okay, so you voted for Jill Stein, and where are you now on Trump?
Oh, I really like him. I think he's the best president of my lifetime, if not the best president ever. But I don't want to go back to like founding fathers. I really like Trump. I like everything he's doing. And I'm willing to I just have an approach where my main goal, I guess, is to stop the hate, stop the division, and get people to realize what it is people like about Trump. So me personally, I absolutely love him. And it's like he's woke me up to a lot of policies that I would have always thought were terrible. But now I'm starting to realize the whole left wing just has nothing to offer me socially, politically, strategically. Like everything they're doing is just a total fail. So I love Trump.
But isn't Trump a racist?
I don't know. I feel like he just loves America and Americans, and that's pretty much it. Whereas the left, they hate white people and they hate Black and Latino people who don't agree with them, but there's no clear reasoning behind it. Where Trump, he just really loves America. So it's like people mistake everything for racism, and now in the Trump era, it's becoming clear to me that a lot of people are hiding behind women and children and rape victims and Black and Latino people, which is really sad because they push their political agenda behind them as opposed to, owning up to who they are and really having an honest discussion that will really help all these communities, because I want to help. But no, I don't think he's racist.
Yeah, I actually, my personal opinion is that a lot of people now who are becoming attracted to the Democratic Party or, consider themselves liberals are actually like very angry, rageful people who have just kind of found an excuse or somewhere to point their rage. I mean, because there are now like white liberals who are screaming at black people who are conservatives and calling them racist, or screaming at gay people, like straight white conservative people or straight white liberal people who are like attacking people of color or gay people, whatever, who don't think the way that they do. And it's just like, it just seems to me so obvious that like this isn't even, I think, to a certain degree about politics. I think it's about rage.
Yeah, I think there's a mentality behind what's going on, and people are shifting further and further. And what helped me in my life was I stopped making excuses. I stopped looking at all the things that were wrong in my life. I used to like bubble on it, and it really held me back. And then I started being grateful for what I did have, and that changed my whole life. So the left is becoming a pile of people who they hold on to the past, they hold on to what they hate, they hold on to grudges, and they hold on to that victim mentality that will hold you back in your career and your personal life. It's a really failing, toxic ideology. So they have that. And I personally think they have a slave master type mentality where they want you to be weak and victimized. If you're a woman, if you're in a certain community, even if you're white, they want you to feel bad and down. And the second that you feel like happy and confident, they want to throw you back in the gutter. So I think their ideology is disgusting. Like the more I really see it, how they treat every community, every religion and race and gender, it's disgusting. I think it really is a slave master mentality where they want to mentally enslave you and keep you very weak. And it's just gross to see how they act.
We're going to show it in just a second, Rob. Did you see the video that's kind of floating around on social media right now of the protesters after the Kavanaugh thing? And there's an elderly guy holding a sign that says it's like a pro-Trump sign, and a young girl, healthy white girl with blonde hair dancing around. She's dancing around, and then she just smacks, like physically attacks him. And I'm just looking at this and thinking about the irony. She's angry because she thinks women are victims, and that's why she's upset that Kavanaugh has been confirmed. Yet she, the victim, is attacking an old white man.
Well, it's no surprise the left hates old white people. They say it all the time. They call for violence towards old white people. So it's not a surprise they've done that. And I actually attended an anti-Kavanaugh march and live streamed it. And an ambulance went by, and there's all working class people trying to get home on a busy Los Angeles street. And they actually blocked traffic for a minute or so after an ambulance just passed by 10 minutes ago. So it's like, you think you're more important than an ambulance and working class people? These people are disgusting hypocrites. And I know they mean well, but they need to find God or find, I don't know, maybe a pomegranate, eat it and get some nutrients and maybe wise up a little.
Cycle Training just gave another $100. Thank you, Cycle Training. We love you, Cycle Training. You are the man. Thank you so much. I would like to show a sample of An0maly's work. I would love to show one of his videos. So this is one of An0maly's videos. When you tune in, you go to his channel, which is, you could go to, do you post all your videos on World Cloud?
I post all mine on An0maly. I post other people's on World Cloud, and then I post mine on YouTube as well.
Okay, so let's watch a little bit of An0maly giving us some of his sage advice and words of wisdom.
I'm tired of the hate and division, and to counter that, I'm going to talk about racism in a way that most people won't. Let's start with Morgan Freeman.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? Well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
This is exactly how I feel. The whole conversation around race is a lie. The system of labels is a trap. Hear me out. Media and politicians love to use the word minority to describe Black, Latino, Asian, and Indian. Minority? Why? Who decided that? If you're an American, you're in the 100% majority. If you're a human being, you're in the majority. If you're labeled by your gender or your interests, you probably won't be a minority, but the word minority is a great way to make you feel small, outnumbered, and weak. To help you? Well, so they say, but I don't believe it for 1 second. Many people are waking up to that reality, including rap artist Waka Flocka Flame.
Man, I be seeing y'all going crazy with the shit I've been saying on Sway. Niggas be like, yo, Waka said he not black. You right, I'm not the Black America call me, and it's just hard for a nigga to be from the slums, the ghetto.
See, this is what I like, and this is what I think is so effective when you communicate and you do your videos. I think you have a very approachable, sort of non-threatening, yet very intelligent and very wise way of making your points and communicating what you have to say. You know, you're not like a troll or a provocateur. I think like a lot of people that, that same message comes off in sort of an off-putting way, but yours, people I think are very open to be and receptive to what you have to say because of your approach.
Yeah, I'm what the left pretends that they are. I mean, at the core of it, of course, I have fun. I'm definitely not a saint by any means, but I'm very peaceful. I like to keep the drama low. I like to stretch and go to the beach. I like to chill out, and I don't like to be angry. I don't like to be hateful. I don't like to hold grudges. I like to be like normal liberals act like they are, but they're really not. So it's like, even people I disagree with, I try to keep calm because and that's why even with the stay mad, I was like, Brandon, I don't like stay mad because, of course I got the walk away hat here. So, I'm walking away. But with the stay mad, I feel like the old saying, I don't know if it was Buddha or someone else, when you're angry, it's like you hurt yourself. I didn't do that quote any justice, but anger, fear, people always ask if you're scared. I don't do anger. I don't do fear. Of course I get mad and, sad. I'm not perfect, but I try to eliminate those qualities because they're even now it's like but to each their own and everyone's got their thing, but yeah. I'm not that. I'm not in that zone.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because it kind of gives me an opportunity to explain the stay mad a little bit more too. Yeah, it's true that An0maly, that was our first fight, I think. So An0maly reached out to me and he said, he was like, hey, this hashtag stay mad. He was like, I don't like it. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was just like, I don't know. He's like, I think it just sounds kind of like angry and like leftist and very.
It gives me stress when I see it. I'm just like, because then I'm like, but it's not a fight. I was like, I'm going to text you rather than cry about it online or something. Cause I was like,
I know. So I'll explain. And I don't know if that it'll win you over at all, but here's what I have to say. When I say stay mad, I'm not talking about mad as in angry. I'm not talking about mad as in rageful. I'm certainly not talking about mad as in like a leftist kind of violent, entitled to go out and, scream and rant and rave and throw a tantrum and hurt people and all this craziness we see on the left. What I'm talking about is that fire in your belly that most of us on the right are feeling right now. And a lot of people have been feeling it for years. I'm new to the right, and I've already been feeling it for a year and a half because I'm sick of the fake news. I'm sick of the censorship. I'm sick of the lies that we see in the Kavanaugh hearings. I'm sick of seeing things like I saw the other day where this old man is holding a sign and a young girl's attacking him. I saw a video today of Antifa closing down traffic. I think you were just talking about something like that a second ago. And I saw another video today of who's the guy from Fox and Friends. He got on a subway in New York and two liberals followed him onto the subway and screamed at him and got everybody else on the subway train to confront him as well. He's like, this guy's from Fox News. This guy loves Trump, whatever. And then everyone on the train started berating him and screaming at him and stuff. This guy was just so when we see things like that, listen, I don't care who you are. I don't care how zen and controlled you are. It's impossible not to feel that fire inside of you. And you're just like this. I think we can all agree this is not what we want. This isn't what we want our country to be like. And so what I'm telling people is when you feel that fire in your belly and this anger or not that kind of anger, but the passion that you feel when you see these things, keep that fire alive until November 6th and let it motivate you to get out and vote. I understand your point completely, but I'm not advocating or endorsing rage or anger. I'm really not, but I'm trying to encourage people to keep that passion and that fire burning until November 6th. That's what I mean when I say stay mad.
We definitely have to, be vigilant and vote November 6th. That's true. And, you have every right to be mad. But, mad by definition means extremely angry, or mad like in the British sense of like you're crazy, which they are harassing people all the time. And a lot of people are mad. I just personally, it's not my vibe. But, and I feel like fire with fire doesn't work. But, as far as, loose definition of it or energy, to be honest, I'm as peaceful as I am. I always wanted to stay super peaceful, and I am. But if they're going to continue to harass and attack people, like, I'm going to arm myself. And if anybody tries to come to my house, they're probably going to die. And I'm not, that's not a threat. That's not a threat. That's saying like, if, you know what I'm saying? It's not a threat. It's like, if you break into my house and try to hurt me, you're going to die. So it's like, and I don't want to be like that, but it's like, at what point they're attacking people in public on a daily basis. So it's like, I feel you, brother. I mean, I don't know how far they're going to take it, but if they're literally trying to start a civil war, then, it's probably not the wisest thing.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Okay, so we are running a little bit late, but before we wrap up with An0maly, I just want to say, so over the summer, Dinesh D'Souza invited me to go out and see the premiere of his film, Death of a Nation, which is incredible, and everyone should see it. Definitely make it a point to go out and see it before the midterm elections. So I was going to Los Angeles, and I had a +1, and I was like, who's going to be my +1? Who's going to be my +1? I haven't been to LA in years. So there's not even that many people in LA that I really talk to at this point. I was like, I'm going to ask An0maly if he'll go with me. And I reached out and he said, yes. So Rob, now can you shut there's the pictures. That's me and An0maly at the premiere of Death of a Nation this summer. Dinesh D'Souza's movie. Was there one more? There's another picture. No? There is. Well, all right. Anyway, so we had a great time, and it was awesome to meet you. And I've loved that we've stayed in touch. I hope we stay in touch for a long, long time. And I just want to say thank you so much for everything you've done for me personally, for the Walkway campaign, and let's be friends for a long, long time.
Thanks for having me on today. Thank you for being appreciative, showing love back. That means the world even a little bit. And you've gone above and beyond and shown a lot of love back. So I appreciate that above everything. Best of luck tonight with the rest of the guests, with the Walkway March in October. I will be reporting on it, and cool. We'll go from there.
Cool. Hey, do you want to tell anybody where they can find you on social media?
Yes, on Facebook, it's An0maly. It's AN0. The O's a 0, so AN0MALY. If you search that on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, it's all there.
Cool. Hey, thanks for coming on tonight, buddy. It was good talking with you.
My pleasure. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. All right, so we're gonna go right into my next guest, who I'm like, so I just already love this girl. So she, I found her on Twitter because her videos are they're starting to go viral because people are loving what she has to say. She has everything a person needs. I think A, to be a big star, and B, to be my best friend. And I'll tell you why. She is super funny. She's super intelligent and just a little bit crass. I mean, just like a little bit like, what did she just say? So why don't we start off by watching one of her videos. I love this girl. This is Shamika Michelle. Let's take a look.
I woke up this morning to Kanye West being in the news once again. Now, I'm not a Kanye fan. I couldn't recite one song from beginning to end, nor could I name 3. However, what I do respect is his right to support who he wants to support and to believe whatever he wants to believe. Because what I know is this. For years, all they've wanted black people to do is to fall in line, sit in a corner somewhere and be quiet while they speak for us. See, I appreciate Kanye's bravery in saying, no, I'm intelligent enough to speak for myself. Pass me the mic. And for all the black people that feel like Kanye should be silenced because he believes something differently from what you think he should believe, y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of niggas on the plantation. Like, Kanye, where you's going, Kanye? They treats us real good, Kanye. I knows they's teared up the black family, but they's gave us a check and a place to stay. Oh, Kanye, Massa gonna be mad. Massa gonna be real mad, Kanye, if you leave. And Massa gonna be mad at me for not keeping you here. Fuck Massa. See, we've earned the right to walk away. And anyone with the audacity to say otherwise is no better than the people you think are oppressing us. We have the right to support who we want to support, and we have the right to believe what we want to believe and be vocal about it. What's your name, boy? Your name is Toby. Nope, it's Kanye. And I'm Shamika Michelle. Bitch.
Welcome, Shamika Michelle, to the show. Hey, darling, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm so happy to be talking to you.
Oh, I'm excited too. So just when you were saying how you acted when An0maly inboxed you,
Yes.
you inboxed me, I was like, oh my God. But you know, I was raised in the Black church. So I was like, hallelujah.
That's so awesome. Oh, good. I'm glad that I've reached that sort of like anomaly status in somebody else's eyes. That's really cool. Well, you're going to be there soon enough. I promise you. There, like, it's not going to be long before someone's going to be like, oh my God, Shamika Michelle just messaged me in my inbox. I think you're a total star. I think you're so hilarious and so intelligent. I want people to go. Let's start off with your social media, because I do want people to go and watch your videos. And are you just on Twitter?
No, I'm actually I'm on Facebook as The Naked Girls and Instagram and Twitter, but also on Twitter, I'm Shamika Michelle.
Okay.
So that's probably where you'll have the most fun.
Okay, so explain to people, are you a stripper, or what's with the Naked Girls?
So Naked Naked Girls is a group of women that have committed to living life open, honest, and emotionally exposed. So you're gonna get who we really are, no mask, the real us, good, bad, or indifferent.
See, and I think that's like very conservative principle. Now, do you consider yourself a conservative?
So I would say I was a progressive conservative, if there's such a thing, because I do think I have very conservative views, but in some ways, you know, I do think I'm a little progressive. Like, I'm not barefoot, pregnant in the house type, you know. But outside of that, you know, I have no problem with gender roles. You know, I like things to be, you know, I'm not going to open the pickle jar. I'm not cutting the grass, changing the tire, you know, I'm going to cook and clean and wash the clothes, you know, but I like to be who I am. So I'm progressive in that.
I got you. But see, this is what I think, though, Shamika, is that I actually believe, like, I would not consider myself a conservative, and I consider myself a conservative, and I've now registered as a Republican this year, but I wouldn't do that if I didn't believe wholeheartedly that the Republican Party and conservatism in general has changed. And right. So, like, when you talk about, like, you know, kind of like a progressive conservatism, I believe we're probably talking about something very similar if we actually sat down and went over everything kind of point by point, because right. I think that I think conservatism has gotten more inclusive and diverse, and I think it's gotten kind of edgier. And I mean, even in ways that I think that we didn't anticipate necessarily. I mean, like, it's conservatives now who are fighting for free speech.
Oh God, yes.
You know, and it's conservatives who are fighting, like, against censorship and again, you know, so, and it's the liberals who actually don't want everyone to be able to talk or have a point of view, you know? So right. In a way, I feel like conservatives maybe unknowingly have been pushed into kind of becoming like this sort of edgy counterculture where it's like, we're the ones who are kind of pushing the boundaries now, you know?
Exactly. But, like, I'm banned on Facebook right now for saying Father's Day is for men. And they constantly are banning me. And now I think they're trying to do it permanently because they're like, oh, it's a password issue. But I've gone through all of the whole steps of making sure they can prove my identity, but they won't send me that confirmation email. And it's been over a month, and this is like after 4 or 5 times of being banned for 30 days. And I'm like, I guess they just can't handle the truth.
No, they're so awful too. I mean, it's like we need to somehow we've got to get away from them, because that's what they do. They shut you down, and then they make it so that you can't speak to a human being. There's no one you can get through to. And then then they just have to be like, oh, well, we sent you the email, but there's no one you can actually talk to about it. Now, explain to us what you mean by, you said Father's Day is for men. Like, what do you mean by that?
Okay, well,
I'm not controversial point of view.
So, definitely in the Black community, there's always, because, fathers tend to not be around. There's this whole mothers are like, I'm the mother and the father. But for me, you can only be a good mom. Even if you don't have a man there, you can only be a great mom. You can't be the mother and the father. So if the father is not there, that child is still missing out on something. So I'm like, Father's Day is for men. Can you all stop hijacking it? You don't see that on Mother's Day. You don't see men sitting around saying, I'm the mother and the father, But when it comes to Father's Day, women are always, trying to take over. Didn't you get your steak and your roses and your jewelry on Mother's Day in May? Can you let the men have the tie and the big piece of chicken? I mean, that's all they ask for. So, it just frustrates me because women hijack this day. And I'm like, you're not the mother and the father. You can be a great mom, but you can't be a man.
But don't you think this is something that, like, liberalism and feminism is constantly telling women? This is what I feel like now that I've kind of walked away from liberalism. I see so clearly this ideology is always telling women that being a woman isn't enough. That it's not enough to be a great, to have a great career and to be a mom and to run a household. It's never enough. Men have more, and you have to have what men have, and you have to. And I personally think, if I could I would become a woman right now. Where's the pill? I think I would love to be. I think women have everything.
Right.
I think. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like women are constantly getting messages that what they do is never enough, that they need to have more of what men have, and more of what men have. But
right.
But I don't see a lot of women who want to go out and chop wood or
definitely not me.
Change the transmission.
Right. Yeah, I'm not doing that. And so I do find that women, it's like they are snatching men by the testicles simply because they want to wear the pants. And, let a man be a man. I like a manly man that will take charge. It's things that I am not going to do. And I am okay with not being able to do them or not wanting to do them.
Right. Even in my own little way, I kind of identify with what you're saying, like even as a gay man, because within the gay community, it's now considered like bigoted or, hateful if you are a gay man who isn't attracted to feminine gay men. Now, I'm gay for a reason. I like men. Like, I want to be with a man. If I wanted to be with a woman, I would be straight. So it's like, why? But I'm telling you, like, if you go on these dating sites now and you say something like, looking for a masculine male, oh my God. I mean, some of the sites even talk about now shutting you down. Like, that's actually like offensive speech, because you're supposed to just be attracted to anybody who has a penis. And God help you if they, if it's like, you're not allowed to have a preference in terms of weight. You're not allowed to have a preference in terms of ethnicity. It's weird. These are the same people, like, again, as gay people, we fought so long to have our sexual orientation be accepted. And now it's the gay community who's trying to tell you who you can and can't be attracted to. it's nuts.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I have always wondered, like when I look at lesbian women, I'm just thinking if I were lesbian, I would want a woman that was as pretty as I am. But they go out and get these manly looking women, and I'm like, you could have just been with a man. I don't understand that. When I say it, it's like rude, but I'm glad you just, kind of confirmed that you
No,
want
it's true. And so, some people, that is their preference. My God, look, Cynthia Nixon from Sex and the City. Have you seen her girlfriend?
No.
That's a man. I mean, she is dating a female man. And
Right.
so, but that's her preference, and that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. But don't tell me that I have to date somebody who is feminine.
Right.
If I don't want to.
Right.
Like, I'm a grown-ass man, and I want to be able to date who I am legitimately attracted to, which is, I think, sort of why we fought for these things anyway, was
Right.
To not have to be dictated to. All right, anyway, you get the point. All right. So what's next for Shamika Michelle?
So I just want to continue spreading the message. The reason why I have decided to walk away is because it's just frustrating me, all of the lies that I started to see with mainstream media, and being a naked girl and saying that I'm going to take off the mask and not live a lie. I don't want to be lied to. And so when it's been coming across, they take clips and little snippets from videos or Trump saying something, it has really irritated me that they will spin it to try and manipulate the population into thinking a certain way. I kind of liken that into a man telling a woman, yeah, I don't have another woman, it's just me. I feel like if you have it going on, tell the whole truth like I do. I have a man, but what you got going on? Tell the whole truth. Think of me as intelligent enough to make an informed decision based on what's real. When they start manipulating things and making us think a certain way, you're lying to me now, and I can't respect that. So that's the problem that I have now with the left or the liberals, because they're just lying, and you're telling me that I'm not intelligent enough to make an informed decision based off the truth. I have a problem with that.
Well, and you're absolutely right about that. And one of the very first things that comes across about you, like I said, there are three things. First is that you're very pretty. And then the other two things are that you're very bright and you're very funny. And so it would be impossible for anybody who watches an entire video of yours, even if it's only a minute long, not to immediately recognize that you're very informed and that you're very smart. You're naturally a very smart person. But I know I've seen it with my own eyes. It's like, if you're a Black person, and probably even more a Black woman, who doesn't go along with the typical, liberal ideology narrative or the Democratic Party voting, they think it's because you're uninformed or stupid.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
I have no clue. You know what's crazy? And I'm going to be honest, because a lot of people won't. I voted for Obama because he was Black and because Oprah said to vote for him. Okay. No one questioned my intelligence based on that decision. However, now that I'm voting for Trump and I actually have reasons as to why I support him, they think I'm unintelligent for that. And then I'm hearing little things like, oh, Trump is so racist. He hates Black people. And I'm like, well, your daddy hates you. He's never been around, but you don't think he's racist. So it's just, to the point where give me something else. Give me something besides, he's racist. Give me something besides he hates women. Because, when we get into these debates, it's always with people, that probably didn't get out of third grade because they don't know the branches of government. But they have all of this political savvy now, but they know nothing.
Right.
And so I don't know, as a Black woman, it's like they want us to feel like we're less than or defeated. And I just don't feel that way. I feel powerful. I feel resilient. I feel beautiful. I feel confident. And I'm not going to lay in a corner and pull the covers over my head and just feel like life is over while I let some liberal woman speak for me. No, I can speak for myself. And I support Trump. I feel like my values line up with conservative values. And that's just what it is. You can either like it or leave me alone. I
like it. And I actually love you, Shamika. I do. I think that you're so great. But before you go, you're all about telling the truth, right? You're all about the naked truth, right?
Naked truth.
Tell everyone who you voted for in 2016.
I voted for Jill Stein.
There you have it, people. The two people in America who voted for Jill Stein were both on the show tonight.
Right.
That's absolutely incredible. But so in 2020, who are you voting for?
Oh, I'm voting for Trump.
Me too. Shamika, will you come back and talk to me again sometime?
Oh, I would love that because now you're my best friend.
Yay! No, I mean, like, really, I want to, like, we need to do like regular phone calls because I really adore you. You make me laugh, and I think you're awesome.
Great. So when I text you, don't ignore it.
I won't. I promise.
You know, don't sit and look at the phone like I do a lot of people. Like, you know.
I swear to God, I won't. I swear to God, I won't. No, I think that I think you're great. And I really do believe, well, actually, let me tell you, I'm going to throw this back on you. Don't ignore my texts when you become a big star, which I think is right around the corner.
I got you. We're going to hang out and have fun.
Good. And when you do become a big star, maybe say to people, you know, one of my first gigs was being on the Walkway show with Brandon Straka.
Exactly. That's my best friend. You're going to be right there with me.
I love it. Thanks for coming on tonight, Shamika. I think you're awesome. We'll be talking soon.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye, sweetheart. Good night. I love her. Rob, wasn't she great? Yes. And so those of you who are giving us super chat, thank you so much. Like we were in the middle of the conversation. They were flying by, but I saw several of you. Sylvia earlier gave us a super chat. Thank you so much. And now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, our media mogul, Maria Albanese, the woman who tells us all the news that the news isn't telling us and tells us what it is that we need to be looking out for this week. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Maria Albanese, Citizen Pundit.
Hey, good evening.
Hi, sweetie.
Hey, great show tonight. I'm really having a great time.
It is. Yeah, I know. I'm having a good time too. You know, I think I'm a little too bright tonight, and I think you're a little too dark.
I'm always dark. Rob never likes my lighting.
Look at us side by side. It's like everyone's gonna they're not gonna know how to adjust their contrast on their screen. Maria, what is the media not telling us this week?
Well, I'm sure the media is not telling you about the little clip that was found about Nancy Pelosi from 2017. Social media is telling you about it. And there's something that I try to tell people. It's called circle journalism. Have you ever heard about it?
I have not.
Circle journalism in lawfare. It's a political warfare weapon that they use to leak stories to the press, and then they validate it. Well, a lot of people think these things are false until we've just heard it explained from Nancy Pelosi in 2017. So somebody found a great C-SPAN clip, and I think Rob's going to play that for us, and it's going to tie into everything we witnessed with Kavanaugh.
Okay.
Okay. So
should we do that now?
If Rob's ready.
All right, let's roll it.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident.
I have questions.
Go ahead. Isn't she proud as a peacock when she's explaining that?
I love the smile at the end. She's like, and that's what we call a wrap-up smear.
It's a tactic.
Wow. what does she mean by merchandise it?
They create the falsehood, the lie, and they merchandise it to the press. So now, soon as the press starts writing articles about it, now the general public is seeing it, so now they consider it validation, and this is being tried in the court of public perception. It's been used for a very long time. The old term is the circle journalism. Now, you can use circle journalism to then go file lawsuits, which they call lawfare. And then the public goes, wow, this must be true. I read it in the New York Times. There's a lawsuit over here. Clearly, this person is guilty. So this is a tactic that they've used for years. If you think about what's happening in the FBI, every time we turn around, we're hearing about leaks to the press. They want it leaked to the press because soon as it's out there for the public, it's now validated. And then,
right.
So now what we're seeing is the deep dives into getting the unredacted FISAs. And we want the truth now. And I get what An0maly's saying about the stay mad, but I do get what you're saying. And this is something conservatives have always been poor at. We need to keep that fire up until November 6th, but we still need to keep the fire because right now, many of us do not want this Ford thing to die. Many of us want to see indictments on that whole team. That is how much we believe that this was fraudulent, a tactic. They put it on in the Congress theater for the world to look at. And then you have the news, the propaganda wing of the Democratic Party, saying that she was credible. I personally don't know anybody that thought she was credible. But when you go to CNN, and not only that, Fox News, which you know I don't watch, but Fox News.
Except when I'm on.
Except when you're on, that is
okay.
But to see Judge Napolitano and a lot of their pundits that I would have normally had respect for, to sit there and say that she sounded credible, that was incredible to me. So there's a lot of people now that are calling Grassley's office. This is one of those things that you've seen when Donald Trump was running and he won. All of a sudden, who went away? Gloria Allred, Lisa Bloom. They took their parade of women away, gone. I bet you none of us can even name the accusers, okay? The Roy Moore incident.
I actually forgot about that, but yeah, now I remember.
So we can't let this die because we really need to start setting the precedents that we're not going to take it as a public anymore. They held us hostage for how many weeks with this? And if you remember, they started with him in his hearings. They tried to catch him on race. They played the race card. It didn't work. And in the 11th hour, they came out and paraded this incredible story with no corroboration whatsoever. And we were expected. Now you have rioting in the streets, the Gateway Pundit. That's another thing. Go look at the anarchy in Portland. You have people scraping at the Supreme Court doors. The crying that went on. All of this because they want to say that there's a rapist at the Supreme Court level. Well, let's prove that there's not a rapist in the Supreme Court, and let's indict this team. Her lawyers, the FBI friend, and Blasey Ford. That's what somebody like me wants to stay mad about. Because if we don't stay mad, we're not going to push those in Congress to pursue this. And that's what we need to do.
See, and thank you for saying that too, because I actually feel like you just explained my motivation behind the hashtag stay mad even better than I did. Because yeah, what you did was just provide several real world examples of exactly why it's important, because you're absolutely right. What happens, I think that people have become so fatigued by the antics of the left. It's just like, oh, here comes another thing. And here's another thing. And it's exhausting. It gets exhausting after a while. And then it's like you get to the point where it's not that I think people forgive, but I think they're just too tired to even just to be like, we've got to do something about this. And then they pull out another one. They pull out another one. That's why it's like we've got to stay mad and actually start holding them accountable. That's what it's about.
That is the point, because I said this after Trump won in 2016. I didn't really realize what I was saying at the time, but it came true that they have a Rolodex of scandals. just ready to go. Oh, this one didn't work. This one didn't work. Let's just keep moving along until we can hit a scandal that's going to stick. And until we push back and start to say enough, and there's actually people tried or convicted of something in the public, it cannot be that Kavanaugh has to wear this like a scarlet letter, and that there's some in the public that still will say that based on her crazy testimony that he must be guilty. So us conservatives want to prove that this was a wrap-up smear, that this was done to stop. They really thought that he would have stepped down before she would have got to testify. That's what I believe they were banking on. But he was stronger than that. He stayed in. He stayed until the end. It was brutal down into the end. He got the votes. He's in. But now they're not going to stop. You have to understand, we are way past resistance. We are definitely even beyond obstruction. This is destructive, what they're doing. The left is unhinged. They're not going to stop it. If we do not win in November, they're going to not only go after impeachment on Trump, they're going to go after impeachment on Kavanaugh. And they're just going to tie up the wheels of motion here, what we need to accomplish.
Yeah, you said something recently when we were talking too that I think is so true. You know, you were talking about what Kavanaugh's been through, and you said, well, who's ever going to want to run for office now, or who's going to want to be nominated, you know, for the Supreme Court? It's such a good point because, as we know, even in a hearing like this, there was very little evidence. They obviously, no one could come to a conclusion of wrongdoing, but we know that this will follow him for the rest of his career. To some degree, at least with a certain sect of people, it will. And that in itself, I mean, we've now established this precedent where if it's somebody that you don't like, you just destroy their character and you don't even have to have evidence, and the charge will stick in the court of public opinion.
And I think this was the tipping point that really pushed us all over the edge, because the story was that crazy that her best friend said it didn't happen. They could not find anything to these stories, and then you had An0maly trot out the other one. None of these stories were sticking. They were trying to do one after the other. They weren't sticking, and then just like with Donald Trump before the election, all of a sudden all these victims disappear. With Roy Moore, all the victims disappear, and nobody does anything about them. If you don't stop it, this will continue. Nancy Pelosi laid it out. This is what politics is. It's a dirty, dirty game. And apparently it's very well known at their level. Now, the average American doesn't understand this. When they turn on the news, they think that they're getting the truth. Some of them are learning, they're not. Some of them are learning. That's why they walked away. That's why they're getting all their news from independent journalists on the internet. But for those who still don't know, when they turn the news on, they think that they're getting truth. And they are getting made up stories, scandal after scandal, even the lawsuits. Like if somebody said, oh, there's a lawsuit filed against Brandon Straka, it could be totally false. But because it's there and somebody could look it up, oh, well, it must be true. It must be true.
That's right.
Something wrong. Well, this is what they do to politicians as well, or anybody that they want to smear. Cheryl Atkinson has a great book. It's called Smear, and she talks all about it, and she talks about what was done to her by the government, how they hijacked her computer, and because, again, she was reporting on things they didn't want her to report on. So they're very controlled. The only place we're not controlled is here until social media wants to control us and shut us down.
Maria, earlier in the show, I mentioned, I'm curious if you've seen it, Fox and Friends anchor Brian Kilmeade on the subway. Did you see it?
I did see it.
What did you think about it?
Well, first of all, I'm impressed that Brian takes the subway.
Yeah, right? I thought the same thing.
God bless him. Where's his car? Where's his pickup?
He probably never will again, but yeah.
You know, but it was appalling. But this is what we're seeing. They're being chased out of restaurants. They can't walk the streets. You have to go see what happened in Portland. And what's even sad in Portland, the cops always stand down there. People are being accosted everywhere they go. And they proudly take these videos and put them up. In fact, did you hear about the school teacher, Samantha Hess?
Tell us.
There's an article in Populist Media about Samantha Hess. She had put on Twitter, so who's going to take one for the team and kill Kavanaugh?
Ooh.
Ooh. Well, yes. You know, all I got out of this is that she was put on administrative leave. That's it. That's it. So this is what we're dealing with out there. And a conservative could say boo, and they're off of social media, and they're in all kind of trouble. This woman needs to be investigated by the Secret Service. I don't know if that's happened, but all I know is that she's on administrative leave.
It's just insane.
And she's not the only one. I did see a few things like that out there. How many more were there? And then I like this one. You know how they went after Kavanaugh's yearbook?
Yes.
You see, we're learning to do fire with fire in this world. And there is someone that works for CNN named Caitlin Collins. Somebody went through her old tweets. Ooh. And she had some negative homophobic things to say. So now they don't like it. So Caitlin, welcome to the jungle, because you love to promote this stuff. And she didn't like it so much.
But, you know, liberals always get forgiven for their, like, homophobic pasts, you know?
Oh, she apologized very quickly. Oh, I said something stupid while I was in college. Oh, she'll be instantly forgiven. Had that been a conservative, forget it.
Yeah, forget it. I mean, that, like, Joy Reid, I think, was the biggest. I mean, I don't want to relive the Roseanne thing again, but it's like, you know, we know what Roseanne said. Like, it wasn't really the end of the world at all. But Joy Reid actually had a long history of saying blatantly really homophobic stuff. Mm-hmm. And she came out and she was like, I don't remember saying that. And then she tried to say that she got hacked and it was not real. And then she was like, well, I think I did say it, but it was a long time ago and I was crazy and now I'm not, you know, but nothing happens.
Everything happens. Did you see what they're doing to Lindsey Graham?
Am I frozen? Okay. I thought I was frozen on a crazy face there. Yeah. Oh, I see what they're doing to Lindsey Graham. I've seen.
Is that not horrible?
Yeah. So it's something weird is going on the left. It's weird because they are embracing homophobia. I don't know if they're just so arrogant at this point where they're like, we're so enlightened. Rob, am I frozen? It's keep an eye on me because I'm freezing a little bit every night. I think they've become so arrogant in this sense. Look, see, did you see it? Keep watching. Okay. All right. Well, something weird's happening. They're so arrogant in their sense of like, oh, we're so enlightened, we're so progressive, or that I almost feel like they feel like they've earned the right to be homophobic or be a little bit racist or be whatever, because they're like, well, we're so obviously not. You know, we're just joking. It's the right. See, frozen.
The whole arm of the left has multiple personality disorder. They don't even know what they stand for anymore. They've taken so much spaghetti and thrown it against the wall. None of it's working. None of it. And everybody's seeing through them. They truly don't know. They are screaming at the sky. They are doing the most insane things. It's mind-boggling. So, again, I won't say anything till it's over. I do really feel a great red tsunami coming. I cannot see how they could win unless, they have a big recruitment for the youth. That's about the only thing I could see giving us a run for our money.
Okay, Maria, it's okay for you to feel that way, but you can't say that on TV. What are you going to tell people?
Well, I'm going to tell people to get out and vote. And they have to vote like it's 2016. It is known that midterms never have the turnout that presidential elections have. This has to be different. This has to be historic. Nobody can stay home. Everybody has to get out. Everybody has to get out, and they have to vote red. I don't care if you like Donald Trump or not. You have to vote red.
Right. And it also doesn't matter if you like Republicans or not.
That's correct. Because, well, you know what? Notice this was something very interesting that backfired on the left. This actually united the Never Trumpers into the deplorable portion of the Republican Party. Everybody seemed to unite over this on Kavanaugh.
Oh, yeah. I think everybody everyone right of crazy over this.
Right. And
yeah.
It's pretty hard to get the Never Trumpers to come around to the deplorables.
Did you see the walkaway video that I was referencing earlier in the show? I think the woman left it today.
Not sure.
Oh, I'm going to send it to you after the show. I'm going to try to get this woman on next week. She's a lawyer from San Francisco, a little bit older woman.
Yes. Yes.
You saw it?
Yes.
Maybe it wasn't from today then.
No,
but
I think it was a few days.
Yeah, she said the Kavanaugh thing was the last straw for her. Mm-hmm. These are powerful. These testimonials are powerful because a lot of these people have been Democrats for decades.
Right. Exactly.
And they've had enough.
Yeah, I cannot believe that the show. I don't know. Did you get to see that video of Dianne Feinstein when she's reading the FBI report?
No, I don't think so.
That I will send you. It sums it up. The camera is just showing her face, and you can just see like, we're done. We're done. She doesn't know where to run. They've exhausted everything. Plus,
you've got to send that to me. Yeah, I want to see that.
Waited till you see her face. It tells the whole story because don't forget, it was she that Ford sent the letter to, and she leaked it. So to speak. They tried everything to stop Kavanaugh, and nothing worked. But when you see her face, Brandon, this is what another thing that put a lot of people over the edge, because you're seeing it. You're seeing it unfold in front of your eyes. It's a good thing that she testified for it. It really is, because it gave America a chance to judge for themselves with their mouths open.
Right. What happened to cycle training, Rob? Cycle training, come back. We miss you. Maria, I'm reading the comments and people are riveted, and they're saying they're agreeing with what we're saying here, that this Kavanaugh thing was next level, and that I think that things went way too far, and I think that this is the breaking point for many Americans. The timing on it couldn't have been better, but I guess that's why they did it. In the end, they thought it would work. Because they don't seem to ever get it, Maria. They don't ever get it.
Yeah, what they thought would work is just like Ronnie Jackson did, would walk away, would resign. This is too much for my family. That's what they were banking on. It didn't work. I love the photo out there on social media that shows Ford with her whole team around her, buzzing in her ears, the lawyer, the FBI agent sitting behind her. And then right underneath it, there's a picture of Kavanaugh giving his testimony alone. Nobody buzzing in his ear. These are the things that people look at. She had to look to her counsel for everything. Who paid for the polygraph? I don't know. There were things that she should have known. She didn't know. She didn't know how to answer. She had the whole team in both her ears behind her. It was just incredible to watch.
Well, and I thought that was so interesting too, because she said, I took the polygraph from my hotel room because my grandmother died and I was at the funeral that day. And then she said, oh, well, maybe it was like the day after or something. And I'm like, you don't remember what you did the day of your grandmother's funeral?
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but if I went to my grandmother's funeral and then immediately went back and took my first polygraph test, I would remember that was a crazy ass day. The day I went to my grandma's funeral and then I had a polygraph test after, I wouldn't be like, I don't remember.
And then she said it was such a stressful day because she had to relive her life for hours. And then we find out that she was only asked 2 questions.
Oh,
I mean, and then, you know, I don't know, did anybody hear this? Maybe I did miss it. She claimed she was at a house with 4 people. All 4 of those people denied the story. But yet nobody asked, well, if there were only 4 people there, and it's not like you said, I can only remember 4 and there was really 20, 30, 40. She kept saying, I was at this house with 4 people. Obviously, it would have had to been one of the 4's parents' homes. All they really needed to do was get the schematics of the house, the houses of those 4 parents, to see even if her story lined up with, I ran out this door, down these steps, down the hall. I mean, there were just so many things that didn't add up, that people that could have been questioned. I mean, these people, I'm sure, had siblings. Well, were there any parties at this house that you could recall in the early 80s? Something. But there was not one person to say that this story was true. And yet we had to swallow it. We had to listen to it, captivate it, not moving from our television set for 2 days because we wanted, those of us like me, conservatives, we wanted to catch all the lies.
Right.
You know, I don't know how many liberals were actually watching it. And then on comes Kavanaugh, and you felt for him when he came out. There were some people saying, oh, you know, he shouldn't have been as emotional. Well, how could you not be emotional when someone has manufactured a wrap-up smear on you, and now you have to defend yourself?
Well, this is one thing that I have even personally learned when, you know, being who I am now with the walkaway campaign and whatnot. I've been attacked by certain people who I actually know in real life, who there's certain things I can let go. Like if, you know, if someone went online and they said, oh, Brandon Straka has turned into a real asshole, whatever, I'd be like, okay, who cares? But I mean, when they start talking about like, oh, you know, he steals the money from the campaign. Oh, you know, that's the kind of shit that I'm like, okay, I need to address this. And then when you address it, they're like, oh, look, he's so defensive. That's how you know it's what we're saying is true. It's like, there's nothing you can do for these people when they get it in their head that they want to hate you. They want to hate you. They want to hate me. They want to hate whoever. And anything that you give, if you ignore it, they say, oh, he's ignoring it. He's guilty. If you address it, he's addressing it. That's what a guilty person would do. Yeah.
It is definitely a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because if you notice, by the time it was Kavanaugh's testimony, he was actually mocking back at them like, okay, if we're going to talk about flatulence out of a 16-year-old boy's yearbook, let's go for it. Or when he said to the senator, you know, I don't know, did you drink? How much did you drink? When he started giving it back to them, oh, they were appalled, like, how dare you? But at what point do you have your breaking point? You know, but I will give it to him. He did not throw in the towel. He fought it to the bitter end. And he won. But we can't, us conservatives can't just go, yeah, we won. No, we didn't win. We will win when we expose the political tactics, the political warfare that was done. That's when we'll win.
All right, Maria, tell everyone to get out and vote again.
Get out and vote like it's 2016, like your life depends on it, because it does.
Because it does.
It does.
Maria, why don't we leave it there for tonight? Because God knows you and I could go on for hours and hours. But I think we're already over.
Probably.
Only by 25 minutes. The show is getting longer and longer. Oh, God. Okay. Who cares? The people love you. Guys love it, right?
We're going to do a mini series.
Exactly. All right, everybody, we're going to wrap up tonight. We'll say goodbye. And as always, I'm going to let you know. Oh, well, what do we have for next week? Do we have anything we need to say for? So let me just reiterate the contest. The contest is if you text 51400, text the word Skype to 51400, you can enter for a chance to win a 15-minute Skype session with me. We can talk about anything that you want to. And I'm an open book. Whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about it. It's $5 to enter. You can enter as many times as you want. And we'll announce the winner next Monday. I'll actually call the winner live on the show and let them know that they've won. And what else? What else should we reiterate? If you would contribute to our Patreon account, we absolutely love that. That's great. Buses, go to walkaway.bus.com. Get a ticket to go to the Walkaway March on Washington. That we have provided buses for you people, and I want to see all of you there to support the cause. Oh, and I have the best moderators, and I want to take a moment to thank the moderators on the chat for these for the Walkaway show, Walkaway with Brandon Straka. Thank you, moderators. You're amazing. I really, really appreciate the service that you do, because they're in there, they're giving all the love, they're keeping the chat going, they're making sure everyone's playing nice, people aren't getting nasty with each other. And I want to give you love. Thank you so much. And with that, I will say to you all, we'll see you next week. I, Brandon Straka, I am walking away, and I encourage all of you to do the same. Walk away. Good night, everybody.